Hi, Victory families. Welcome to our virtual orientation. My name is Heather Slocum, and I just want to take a few minutes to introduce myself and let you know what you can expect in my classroom this year. A little bit about me. I'm from Lakeland. I graduated from Lakeland High School. Mr. Thomas was actually my principal when I was in high school. After graduating, I attended the University of Florida, where I studied history and secondary education. I returned to Lakeland, and Mr. Thomas hired me to teach at Lakeland High School. I taught there for several years. I moved to Massachusetts. I taught there for the last 4 years, and I just moved back a couple months ago. And I'm so happy to be back in my hometown, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to join the Victory family. I'll be teaching in Portable 15, and my email address is hslocum@victorylakeland.org. I'll be teaching United States history, senior seminar, and dual enrollment. Your student will receive a class-specific syllabus on the first day of school that will go over the course description, as well as what materials we'll be using and information that's specific to the course. The syllabus will also be available on the Schoology platform that I'll talk more about in a minute. Rules and expectations: be prompt, prepared, productive, and polite. Prompt and prepared are going to be really important this year because we're going to have to devote some time to cleaning up our areas and sanitizing, things like that. So we don't want to lose any more instructional time. So it's really important that the students be prompt and be prepared. So I would ask that you just encourage your son or daughter to make sure they have everything that they need for class when they head to school. Productive, polite, you're just going to be good stewards of our time. We're going to be respectful. I like for there to be discussion in my class. I like for people to feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, their opinions, comfortable asking questions, comfortable giving answers, even if they're not sure if it's right. So it really requires a culture of respect and for people to feel comfortable stepping outside of what might be their comfort zone. All of the assignments, everything that we're doing, what we're studying, will be posted through RenWeb and also Schoology. We'll talk more about Schoology in a minute. So that will hopefully give you a good resource so that you know exactly what we're doing. And grades are going to be posted. They'll be posted in a timely manner. If you have any questions, of course, just reach out to me, email or phone call. Always available anytime you have any questions or concerns. School supplies, trying to keep it simple. I know that the students won't have access to a locker right away. Don't want them carrying around a ton of things. So they'll have I'd like for them to have a binder about 1 inch thick. I don't collect the binder. They don't have to turn in the notebook. So if they want to use one large binder for all their classes, whatever works for them, based on other teachers' requirements and expectations as well. I just like the binders so that they can put all their papers in, whether it's notebook paper or handout, and it can be kept in order. I'll go over this with them, but when we finish a unit, I encourage them to take that unit out, use a binder clip, and keep it at home. Don't throw it away. You want to use that to prepare for the midterm and the final, but at least it will lessen how much they're having to actually carry around with them here at school. Pens, pencils, and highlighters. The color is up to your student. I don't have a preference, but those are obviously, the pens and pencils are necessary. The highlighter is nice to have. I do have these supplies available. Normally, they would just be right there for people to borrow as needed. Certainly trying to limit the sharing of supplies this year. So that just goes back to the being prepared. Really encourage your student to come to class prepared. If you need any help securing any of these supplies, just let me know. Just email me and I'll make sure that I have a set for your student on that first day of school. Schoology, a new learning management system that Victory is using this year. I've started working with it some and been really impressed. It's something that we'll all learn together, and I am excited for this new resource. I want to take a second and show you, I'll go to the pictures in a minute, what it looks like. This is an account that I created myself that will be, from what I understand, I'll be able to sort of merge this with my school account once that's created. But this is my course dashboard. So I have my 2 U.S. history classes in here. Obviously, I'll be adding senior seminar, dual enrollment as needed. But when you click on the class, you'll have access to folders. And so far there's 2 folders, class information. Right now there's just the syllabus in there, but throughout the year, as there's more information, whether it's school related, classroom specific, I'll just throw it in that folder. So it'll be right there, easily accessible. And then we'll do our units this way. So I've created a folder for Unit 1. Obviously, senior seminar will be studying something different, but it'll be set up the same way. For U.S. history, we start with a brief review of the Revolutionary era through the Civil War. It's what was taught in middle school. So we just do a quick review so we can kind of pick up where you left off. The way I'm going to start the year, and this is true for senior seminar as well, the example here obviously is American history, is this is the first lesson that we're going to do. It's going to take us a few days to get through it. And I've put together a packet. And I don't normally use packets in this manner, but this is how I'm going to start. My thought process is if I give a packet, provide a hard copy of the same packet on the first day of school, also provide an electronic copy, it gives students the choice. Do you want to complete it on paper? Do you want to complete it electronically? And they're going to hang on to it regardless of what they choose. They're going to keep the packet, the hard copy packet, until we're done with that lesson, with that unit, and then they will turn that in. So we won't be passing out papers every day and collecting papers every day. They'll hang on to that packet until we're done with it. I put in a due date of Wednesday, August 26th for this particular packet, for example. It put in 11:59 p.m. That's just the time that it put in. Obviously, if you're turning in the hard copy, you would turn that in class. But my hope with this, by using a packet, is that in the event that a student needs to stay home for a few days, or we need to transition to remote learning, that this will make for a smooth transition, that they'll be using the same packet at home that they would be in the classroom, and that they'll have an electronic version of that available to them. We'll do this for the time being. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can transition away from this to what I consider my more normal style of teaching, but we'll see how it goes. If everybody says this is useful and we like this, then we can stick with it. But that's how I'm going to start the year under these circumstances, to just minimize the number of papers that are being passed out and exchanged, and to also allow for a smooth transition in the event that remote learning needs to take place. So that's a very brief intro to Schoology. We'll spend a lot more time getting to know that. All right, just to finish up here with some pictures of my classroom. This table here would normally have all sorts of supplies on it, hole punch and scissors and tape and whiteout and stapler and everything you could think of, pens and pencils. I've put all of that away in the closet. I still have it. If we need it, we can use it, sanitize it. I did leave out the pencil sharpener and a stack of paper, hoping the pencil sharpener can be used without touching it. The paper, I may put that in the closet. I'm not 100% certain on that, but normally there will be plenty of supplies here that students would have access to. Same thing with these books. I welcome students to look at my books. We just will need to increase communication regarding that to ensure that things are cleaned and sanitized as needed. The back of the classroom, whiteboard across the back of the room. Obviously, we'll include some announcements and things like that. A week's agenda for quick reference. It'll also be on the smart board at the beginning of every period. And then the front of the room, my desk, I moved it back into this corner as best I could to open up as much floor space as possible to spread the desks out. It's been years since I have arranged my desks this way. I haven't done forward-facing rows in a very long time. Normally, my students work in groups and there's a lot of collaboration, a lot of conversation, but we're going to kind of put that on pause for right now and do it this way for the time being, just out of an abundance of caution, obviously. And we'll look forward to that day when we can safely transition away from this and return to, what I consider my normal style of teaching. But for now, that's what you can expect for your student. They will have an assigned seat that they'll go to every day. Desks will be cleaned in between periods. The facilities department has been working nonstop to keep this school clean, and I know they'll continue to do so. If when the numbers, final numbers come out, if I can remove desks, I will, to spread it out a little bit more. Right now, there's 24 desks in my classroom. So if I'm able to remove some at some point based on the numbers, then I will. Just finally, this is the school's verse for the year. As I'm sure you've already seen. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. And I just want you to know that I'm a mom. I have a 3rd grader and a 6th grader. And so whatever concerns you might have about returning to school, I can guarantee I've thought through them myself as well. I can tell you that having been here now for over a week and just seeing all of the work that's going into cleaning and all the planning that's going into creating a safe atmosphere for our students, I feel very comfortable. And I'll do everything in my power to keep your son or daughter safe and healthy when they're in my classroom, just as if they were my own. I'll be praying for them. I'll be praying for you, for your family. And I just hope that you'll reach out if you need anything. And even though it'll look a little bit different, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be together again. And I just can't wait to meet everybody, and I'll see you soon.